All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always fun to jump.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one's a good one. This is Mike Tyson versus Vin Diesel.
Oh, this will be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people probably, when they hear that, think, oh, well, yeah, of course Mike Tyson would win. He's a boxer, and Vin Diesel just plays one of the movies.
Right.
But you guys send over some really interesting sources that kind of go a little deeper than that and break down the factors that actually matter in a fight.
Yeah, it gets you thinking about what really wins a fight, in the real world, not just in a Hollywood movie.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes this so interesting. So one of your sources dives into this idea of Mike Tyson as being like one of the most feared boxers in history. Not just, a good boxer or a skilled boxer, but feared.
Right.
So what is it about Mike Tyson that made him so intimidating?
Well, it's a few things. The source talks about his incredible speed, his power, and this almost like primal ferocity. And those three things together really made him a force to be reckoned with.
So when we talk about speed in boxing,
Yeah.
what does that actually mean, like in the ring? Is it just about like running around faster than your opponent?
No, not at all. It's about dictating the pace of the fight. Being able to close the distance on your terms.
Okay.
Think of it like Tyson's speed allowed him to dart and land a really devastating blow and then get out before his opponent could even react.
Wow, so he's almost like controlling the entire fight with that speed.
Exactly. He's always one step ahead.
And then you add the power on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, we've all seen the highlight reels. Those knockout blows are legendary.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is the source emphasizes his technical boxing skill.
Oh, good.
It's not just about brute force. There's a science to it. There's strategy.
So what kind of things are we talking about when we say technical boxing skill?
It's all about things like footwork angles, knowing how to slip a punch, how to set your opponent up for a counter. These are skills that are honed over years and years of training and real fights.
So you're saying those, cool moves that Vin Diesel does in the Fast and Furious movies,
Yeah.
that wouldn't really translate into a real world fight.
I mean, those movie fights are choreographed. They're predictable.
Yeah.
Real combat is messy. It's chaotic. You need to be able to adapt on the fly, think under pressure, and anticipate your opponent's next move.
That makes sense, and that's where that real world experience comes in.
Exactly. Experience outside of a film set is invaluable in a real fight.
So we've talked about Tyson's speed, his power, his technical skill, but Vin Diesel, he's a big guy, he's strong, he definitely looks intimidating. Would that give him at least some kind of advantage in a fight?
Sure, size and strength can be assets in a fight.
Yeah.
But without the technical skills to apply them effectively, they can actually become liabilities. Think of it like having a powerful engine in a car, but no skilled driver behind the wheel. You're not going to win any races.
I like that analogy. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. So, you need both. You need the raw power and the technical skill to be truly dominant.
And that's what the source really highlights, right? That combination.
Yeah, exactly.
Vin Diesel might have the power, but does he have that finesse, that strategy that Mike Tyson has?
Right, because Tyson's not just throwing punches randomly. He's setting traps. He's exploiting openings.
Yeah.
He's a master at controlling the fight.
And then on top of all of that, he has that ability to close the distance so quickly.
Yeah.
And land those devastating blows.
Absolutely. And imagine, you're in the ring with someone like Mike Tyson coming at you with that speed, that power, those skills. It's a terrifying prospect.
I can't even imagine.
And someone who's used to staged fights, choreographed fights like Vin Diesel,
Yeah.
likely wouldn't have the defensive instincts to cope with that kind of calculated aggression.
That makes a lot of sense. So no wonder the source concludes that Mike Tyson would likely win in a fight.
Right.
But I think what's really fascinating to me is that this deep dive isn't really just about Tyson versus Diesel. Is it?
No, not at all. It's about understanding what makes a fighter truly dominant.
Right.
And, it's about those elements of physical ability, technical mastery, mental resilience. That's what separates the champions from everyone else.
Really makes you think differently about what it takes to win.
It does.
So for all of you listening out there, think about this. If you had to face someone bigger and stronger than you, what would your strategy be based on what we've just talked about?
It really challenges you to think beyond just brute strength, doesn't it?
Absolutely. All right, everyone, that's something to ponder, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.